Let me breathe that river, Colorado. Let me stay till the light gives me away. Watch it fall over the Danube.
The last time I was in this park by Bucharest North Station, it was nearly 40 degrees and I didn't know what to do with myself. These tall trees in the park do help. And I'm back here again, and a storm is threatened today, so we're only around 30, not too bad, and a few spots of rain have already been felt. I've just come back from Bulgaria, been staying in the Dunav hotel and rooms opposite Aleko Square, so that's improved a lot. It's got a lift now, and I ended up on the 4th floor with, for the first time, a room that had a look behind the hotel, whereas I normally look over Aleko Square, so that was something different. I went to Oresh to look at my house, the Maritza Boulevard, and I couldn't get near it because it had become so overgrown. So unfortunately I did fly the drone over it, but couldn't get anywhere near it, and decided it wasn't worth it anyway, because my trip to Oresh had been to try and find someone to work on it. Basically there isn't anybody left, they've all taken full-time jobs. Not quite sure what that's about, but the owner of the Dunav said it's something to do with European law, but don't know what that is. So I met up with Colin. He took me down to a new cafe that's opened in Oresh Village. They were very nice people, and I'm showing you now a quick look at the inside and then the new outside, which they've only just opened, of their cafe, which is apparently doing well in the evenings and weekends. Just behind me here, over there, is the Bank of Transylvania. I think it might be their headquarters because it's huge. I've shown you that before. The border control, which I've also had a bit of a moan about when you're using the train, in that they were checking your passports on both sides of the Danube, in Romania and in Bulgaria, and they were waltzing off with them and you didn't know when they were coming back. And it took an extra hour overall onto the train journey. Well, now they come onto the train and they do everything on the move. They've got little gadgets that read your passport. Whole thing's been very much updated and quite impressive. So actually the border control were quite helpful, because I didn't know which train to get on from Rusa, and I spoke to one of the border control people. He said, well, just follow us because we're going over the river, and if you're on the same train as us, you're on the right train. Very good. While I was in Svishtov, there was a huge storm. I had one like this a few years ago, and it caught me out, and I was standing in a shop doorway, and this was the view I was getting. One final thing that's worth a look, apart from some of the other stuff that I'll just throw in anyway, is that the fountains in Aleko Square are now fully functioning, and I film those both during the day and during the evening, because at night they all light up. So that's definitely improved the whole square, and of course the Trumpet Pub sits on the edge of that, so you can sit outside, have a drink and have those fountains sprinkling away in front of you. When temperatures are in the mid to late 30s, you really do like to stand by the fountains. It helps keep you cool. And to sit at the Trumpet and look out on all that is certainly nice, but still a bit warm. Luckily, inside the pub, it is all air conditioned. I did spend quite a lot of time in there. I've just walked a few steps down from Alaco Square towards a car park that's at the bottom of here. So if you're coming to the Trumpet pub, this is where you want to park. And if you keep on going down this hill and round the corner, you end up around at Coletto Park, the park on the hill. And as you can probably tell, it would be a good place up there to watch the sunset over Romania.
Up on Coletto, the stone still stands. Old walls holding the shape of hands. St. Dimitar Church keeps watch up high, wide and warm in the clear blue sky. I run my fingers on the cold old frame, hear the past call me by name. Every step through the worn out land feels like history understands.
So there's the Hotel Danube overlooking Alaco Square, and here's the room I got this time with its views out the back, which is slightly uphill, and some of the houses up there obviously get a good view. Down below there's a service road along the back, there's also some car parking, and out the front you're slightly elevated because there's a row of shops at the street level, and then there's steps up into the hotel. For as long as I can remember, the steps have been a trip hazard and the tiles in very poor condition. Don't understand why you have slippery tiles anyway, and when the storm was on I actually slipped and fell and crashed my back into one of these steps, and weeks later now I still have a swollen back. On the day I was leaving, they were repairing the steps. Well, they were doing something with them anyway. This is another hotel we often stay at. It's the Nove. The entrance on the side there goes into their restaurant, which is air-conditioned. But this time I took the plunge and sat in the garden restaurant at the back. The hotel I was staying in doesn't have its own restaurant, so I was pleased to come back down to the Nove and have some of my meals here. One of the meals I had there was with Colin, and we then went up to a supermarket I haven't been to before. It's behind the hospital, which is uphill behind the hotel I was staying in, and it's really modern and cool inside. Yeah, cool is good. I needed some new sandals, so I popped into Pepco, got some plastic ones for about £3.50. Opposite Pepco is Casamia, where Colin and I went last time and picked up some compost. I went for a meal with a friend of mine from Oresh called Raphael, who speaks several languages, including mine, and we went to this restaurant I haven't been to before. It's called the Bohème. I should point out that we pronounce it Bohème, but any other language in Europe probably call it Bohème. I walked past the PR Club restaurant, but the inside air-conditioned part wasn't open, and I didn't fancy being up on the roof out in the heat. So I kept walking, and as I did, I kept passing cats that were asleep under the trees, absolutely drained of all energy, no doubt. And with me staying on the square this time, all roads seem to lead back to Alaco Square and the pub. And of course you can park your car alongside here, and if you look over the top of the cars that are parked here, you can see the Danube, so that's how close we are to it. That's the Trumpet, and that's the pork lasagna that I had several times while I was in Bulgaria. I just love the stuff.